There we go. All right. So my name is Rackley, and I'm here chatting today with Ruben. Ruben, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, yeah, so I'm Rumen. I'm the BD manager at Malawi, a remote UX and UI design studio.
Yep. So I also work with Melody as well. My role is strategic partnerships. I'm a little bit more of a part-time compared to Ruben. But we thought we'd just jump on a recorded call today and talk about something that we have a bit of a hard time with. I don't know if your company might be in a similar position. If it is, let us know what you think. But these are some of the problems that we face being a remote UX UI design company and landing some of the bigger clients that might come through as leads. So Ruben, give us your sort of take on the problems that we typically face when we're talking to these big leads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so today basically we're going to focus on there's usually a couple of concerns that companies have whenever we have an initial discussion, whenever I get on a call with the client, the potential client. And today we're going to talk especially about the concern surrounding remote working. And I know that a lot of remote companies probably also have the same issue when talking to clients. Basically, how to convince them that remote working is actually, and it's not just okay, but in some cases it can be even more beneficial than working locally with an agency and running back and forth from offices. And the issue about this, not sure if it's actually an issue, but it's more like the fact that remote working has started becoming a popular way of working only in recent years. So before that, it wasn't that way. So a lot of companies are not used to working that way. So that's why when we mention that we're a remote company, that we work entirely remotely through video conferences and through all these sorts of tools, sometimes leads get a bit scared that this will be actually this will increase overhead and this will be more troublesome basically. But the fact that we've worked with not just startups in the past, we've worked also with quite a few corporations that way. This shows that it's not only possible, but actually it can be more successful working remotely.
I think that thing about remote work being sort of the scary new concept is something that you hear quite a bit. It's not like it's completely foreign to a lot of people. There's a huge amount of people engaging in remote work. I know in New Zealand, most of the government agencies offer some form of remote working to their employees. So maybe they're just spending a day at home per week, which is great. A lot of other companies offer it as well. People get a chance to get out of the office and do work from home. It's certainly more productive. I've heard most people who are taking part in those initiatives say it is a new thing, and it is very different to the way a lot of companies have worked beforehand. But just because it's different doesn't mean that it's not productive.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing is that we've been since our creation, basically since we founded the company back in 2012, we've been entirely remotely. So we didn't have a time where we were in office and then went remote. So the company was created with being remote in mind, and our whole process and our structure is built that way to be remote. We have our like daily activities or daily workflow is built to facilitate this remote work. An example would be the fact that we have an overlap. So basically our team is both in Europe and Asia, but and everyone works on their own time or whenever they feel most productive. But all of us have a 4-hour overlap, so that all communication and meetings happens in this overlap. And this basically allows everyone on the team to know what everyone else is working on at all times. So I think this has worked quite well so far, and our clients actually appreciate it after we start working, after they've done this initial leap of faith, and they've trusted us to do work together. and actually they've really appreciated it afterwards.
Yeah, and that overlap time is a really key thing in terms of collaboration. Like for us here in Asia and New Zealand, we get started earlier in the day, just as you guys are going to bed. So we're working through most of the day into the afternoon, and then when you guys are waking up, your overlap time with us is end of our day, start of yours. So things that we're working on, we can pass on to you. And I mean, effectively, you almost get a 24-hour work period with us. You know, we've always got someone on the line doing some work somewhere in the world.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm just going to bring things back to something you said earlier about the overhead, companies worrying about the overheads getting big. We don't have an office. We have laptops, and then we buy. In your case, you're at Starbucks. You bought a coffee, and that covered your internet connection for the day, and your air conditioning, because it's pretty warm where you are. But
Exactly.
when people are paying for the cost of their project, that money's speaks to the quality of the designers that we have working on, not some fancy office and a nice handshake bonus. We actually put the money into paying our designers well and keeping them on task. None of them are overworked. They're all just doing I think, what is it? It's no more than 36 hours of projects per week. They aren't overworked.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, and no designer is working on more than 2 projects as well. So the money that goes in goes to paying for effective designers.
Exactly. Yeah, and another fact that I've personally seen is very advantageous for working remotely is when we have to look for new talent. Basically, we're not limited to just looking within the geographical limits of a specific place. We can look for the best talent everywhere. Basically.
So if you're designing something in London, you're not looking at the best. You're not looking for the best designers in London. You're looking for the best design company that has designers from all around the world.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, have you got anything else you want to add on to this?
I have a lot more to add, I think, but we can leave that for the next time.
Yeah, I reckon we should. I think that's been pretty good. Awesome. Good little chat, Ruben.
Yeah.
And thanks, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll see if there's something else coming up next.
Sure. See you soon.
Cheers.